starting off with 1 cup of peanut butter in our large bowl. Now I'm bringing my whipped cream cheese, and we're gonna add about 10 ounces of our whipped cream cheese right into our bowl. I like using the whipped cream cheese because it's already softened for you. So half the job is already done. We are making a super delicious no-bake dessert that everyone will love. If you love peanut butter and chocolate, this is for you. So this is a 12-ounce container, so we gotta leave about 2 ounces in there so that we can get this recipe correct. Perfect. Now I'm coming in with some powdered sugar, and we're gonna add 3/4 a cup of powdered sugar. Now you guys can measure. I measure with my heart. I like a lot of sugar, so I might add about a cup. That looks absolutely perfect. And we need a little bit of liquid in here, so we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream. We're gonna add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. That's just gonna make our mixing easier. So it's half of this bottle, a little bit more. Perfect. Ooh. That peanut butter smells amazing, and so does that powdered sugar. Last thing we're gonna add to our mixture is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be so yummy, so easy, and just everyone will enjoy it. Kids, adults, you can make it for Thanksgiving, you can make it for Halloween, whatever. You can make it for a Sunday dinner. Okay, now we're gonna start mixing this all together. We might need to bring back our spatula to get all that peanut butter out of our whisk. Oh yeah, see, so easy. Okay, and now it's time to combine that together until it's nice and creamy. Oh my gosh, our creamy peanut butter mixture is ready. We gotta make sure to get all of that out of our spatula, whisk. Woo! Okay, let's give that a little try before we move on. That is so good. Okay. I think some of you guys probably already know where this is going, but we are gonna bring in our chocolate Keebler crust. I normally like the Oreo crust for this recipe, but they stopped making them, which is such a bummer. But chocolate crust will do well, or you can get the gluten-free nut chocolate crust if you're gluten-free. But we are gonna add this peanut butter mixture right into our pre-made chocolate crust. Okay, we got all that in our pie crust, and we're gonna just gently flatten it. Make sure you don't break your crust, or else someone will get a sad broken piece of pie. We just want it to be nice and smooth like butter, or peanut butter, even better. But this is coming together so quickly. It's been like 2 minutes, and we have a delicious no-bake dessert thrown together that everyone will just chow down on. It's delicious, it smells good, and we are gonna make it look extra pretty. We don't want just a plain old basic pie. No one likes that. Okay, that looks great. All right, we're gonna start off with some Reese's Minis wrapped, and we're just gonna kind of toss them on to our peanut butter chocolate pie. It's just a perfect complement for this dessert. Okay, that looks perfect. We'll put that one right there. And then I found these Reese's peanut butter chips, and we're just gonna throw a few of those, because what is a peanut butter pie without extra peanut butter? Oh my goodness. Obviously, all the decorations are optional, but I think they just make the dessert look so much more appetizing. And then last but not least, I have my melted milk chocolate and my melted peanut butter, and we are just gonna drizzle these onto our pie. Oh my goodness, and look at that. This masterpiece is ready for the fridge. We're gonna let it set for 1 to 2 hours, and then it's gonna be ready to indulge. All right, you guys, it's been 1 hour in the fridge, and it is time to try this no-bake peanut butter pie. I have my pie cutter, and we're just gonna cut 1 slice. Oh, that chocolate. I did use wafers instead of, maybe use a chocolate syrup or something so it doesn't crush your pie. It's still a perfect slice. Look at that. All right, so just switch out the melted milk chocolate for just some chocolate syrup, and you'll have a better reveal than mine, but I'm sure this is gonna taste absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh.
If you have a can of condensed milk and a can of peaches at home, make this dessert. Everyone will love it. To start this recipe, we're going to open our can and pour half of the peaches into a bowl. You want to separate the fruit from the liquid. Next, we're going to add the peach pieces to a bowl. And then using a mixer, just crush those peaches. So this is the perfect result that we are looking for. Crushed peach is so ideal for our recipe. It's going to be so good. So now add 1 can of condensed milk, and let's prepare a perfect dessert that you will want to make over and over again. It's just such a tasty result, so I promise you're going to love this one. Now we're just going to mix again in the mixer. And after mixing everything really well, let's continue the recipe. So set that aside, and then in a bowl, we're going to add 1 cup of very cold whipped cream and just mix really well with the mixer. So at this point, you will have a perfect whipped cream, super whipped and fluffy, and we're simply going to pour the peach mixture into a mold. So pour all of the contents into the whipped cream and just mix everything again. Now, after mixing everything really well, let's continue the recipe. We're going to pour some milk chocolate into the whipped cream. I added 200 grams of milk chocolate. And just stir and mix everything really well until all ingredients disappear. Chocolate is really our special ingredient here. Also, what's great, this dessert will be ready in less than 20 minutes. Now, after mixing everything really well, it's time to go ahead and pop it in the fridge. We're going to pour the cream into a larger bowl. The smell of the peach is so, so wonderful. And if you prefer, you can replace the chocolate with some citrus fruits. That works too. You just want to make sure to spread it really, really well. When you make this at home, your whole family is just going to love this dessert. So spread it on all sides, and this is the result that we are looking for. We're just going to refrigerate this for 5 hours. Now, the colder it is, the tastier it becomes. So as a reward for your patience, our peach ice cream with condensed milk is now ready. Let's go ahead and try it. So serve a generous amount to your family. I'm going to serve this in a glass. This ice cream is super creamy, you can tell. Man, my mouth is watering. I am so excited to try this. So finish with more peach pieces to make it even more delicious, or you could finish with some caramel if you would like that. I'm not going to add any more ingredients because I kind of think it's perfect just as it is, but up to you. You can get creative. And let's go ahead and eat. Enjoy.
This is my kids' favorite recipe, plus it's super easy to make. I'm going to show you how to do it. To start our recipe, add 25 grams of strawberry gelatin to a pot, along with 12 grams of unflavored gelatin. To this, we're going to add 200 mils of hot water. Give that a good stir. We want to make sure that that gelatin is dissolved in the water. And you're going to stir this for about 2 minutes. Now it's time to take our pot to the stove, and we are going to turn the heat up to medium. At this stage, let's add in 2 cups of sugar. Give that a good mix until the gelatin and the sugar are well dissolved. This recipe is so wonderful. The kids love it. I always make it at home and everyone just goes crazy for it. Okay, we're going to keep stirring this until it comes to a boil. This step is super easy and really straightforward. But the tip here is you want to make sure you are constantly stirring. That's really important. When the gelatin boils, it's ready. You can turn the heat off, but you want to keep stirring for 1 more minute. The next step is to pour this into a greased dish, or you can use plastic wrap like I'm doing, but you could use butter or coconut oil instead if you prefer. Just whatever you can use to make it easier to get out of the dish. Then we're going to put this in the fridge until it hardens. And I repeated this for a lemon flavor. I love this color as well. Add this to the fridge until it hardens. I'm also doing this with a blue tutti fruity flavor. And our last flavor is pineapple. Again, refrigerate all until they're hard. When your gelatin has set, we can go ahead and continue with the recipe. Carefully remove it from the dish. You don't want to break it, so just go nice and slow here. And then we're going to pour our gelatin onto a sugared surface. Carefully remove that plastic wrap. And now just pour some more sugar on top. Spread it out well so it's totally covered. This is really easy. And now we're going to go ahead for the fun part and cut this into small pieces. Now you can cut this into whatever size and shape you prefer. Personally, I like to make medium-sized cubes. I know your kids are going to thank you for making this. But another fun way to do this recipe is to have your kids make it with you. After cutting all of these into strips, you want to go ahead and cut them into smaller cubes. But first, make sure you dust this with sugar. Again, we want to make sure all sides are coated with that sugar. Go ahead and cut those into cubes now. Super easy, super simple. This is the result that we're looking for. You can see these are medium-sized cubes. These gummy candies are so delicious. All right, this is what they look like now. I finished by dusting even more sugar on top. Go ahead and set those aside, and we are going to do this again with the rest of our flavors. All right, and this is the final result. This is what everything looks like. These are so colorful and so yummy. I know that if you make this at home, you are going to love these too. Give it a try and enjoy. This is a famous 2-ingredient dessert that everybody loves to make. Let's make it together. We're going to start off by adding 1 cup of sugar to a pan, and we are preparing a delicious caramel for our dessert. With just 2 ingredients, you can make this at home too. All right, we're going to give that sugar a stir. You'll notice it starts to melt. When your sugar is melted and looks like this, we're going to add in some water. So I've got 1/2 cup of water here. You just want to add that water gradually. So add a bit of water, give it a stir, keep stirring, and add in that remaining water here. You'll notice that your caramel has become thin. We don't want this to be too thick. That's pretty important. But make sure you're constantly stirring. You have to keep stirring and don't stop. When it looks something like this, we can go ahead and turn the heat off, and we're going to pour that caramel into a mold, but be careful because it is super hot. Go ahead and take your spatula and spread it evenly around all the edges just like this, and we're going to set this aside and move on to the next step. So to prepare the rest of the recipe, we're going to need 10 eggs. Break those eggs into a bowl just like this. And using an ice cream scoop, we're going to separate the yolk from the egg whites. We want to save these yolks for another recipe so they don't go to waste, but we're going to add the egg whites into a larger bowl, and we're going to repeat this process with the 10 eggs. This way you can just super easily and quickly remove those egg yolks. It just takes a few seconds, as you can see. Go ahead and set that yolk aside, pour the egg whites into the larger bowl, and repeat this process with all 10 of your eggs. All right, when you've got all your egg whites here, go ahead and beat those egg whites. I've got an electric mixer here. Now, when your egg whites are fluffy and white and they look like this, they're ready to go. This is the texture we're looking for. At this stage, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. Go ahead and stir that again until we have a nice, beautiful cream. And there you have it. Our cream is ready. This is the ideal texture we're looking for. Go ahead and remove your mixer now, and we can go ahead and set this aside. Now, in our mold with caramel, we are going to add those egg whites with the sugar caramel that we made earlier. Go ahead and just add some small amounts like this. Now, I'm telling you, there is no way this recipe won't turn out perfectly. It's so delicious. Add all the egg whites and arrange and spread them just like this so they totally cover the caramel. Organize it however you'd like. Mine's looking like this. And you can see my mold is quite full here. But you can place your mold into a larger one just like this. And then we're going to add water halfway up the mold. Once you add your water, we're going to bake this at 320 degrees for 30 minutes. After baking and cooling our dessert, our recipe is ready. We have to give this a try. This recipe is so beautiful and the flavor is absolutely incredible. You need to try this at home, and it's so easy to make too. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you give it a try.